I'm going to lay my heart on the line here. I love Red Dwarf. I begged my parents to let me watch it when I was much younger, and I can still recite many early episodes by heart. I really wanted this game to be good. The fact it's a mobile game wasn't a problem. I would have been delighted with a simple Match 3 game with the crew's heads, or Cargo Bay Tetris, or even a Temple Run style runner where Lister must run through a corridor. An idle game about mining Jupiter, Flappy Bird navigating Starbug through an asteroid belt, but not this. The developers have tried to create something original with Red Dwarf the game, and it pains me to say they've got it wrong in so many soul-crushing ways.
Hello and welcome to Red Dwarf 11, the game.
Red Dwarf the game features episodic content that ties in directly with each episode of Season 11, kicking off with the first episode, Twentica. The boys from the dwarf have discovered a derelict spaceship and decided to snoop around and see what's worth salvaging. The first part of the game is an on-rails affair where you must avoid asteroids, scan the derelict ship, fire lasers at space rocks, and collect sparkly lights that will help you upgrade Red Dwarf. There are several levels of this, each one more challenging than the last, before you can move on to the next part of the story. And, as we saw in the episode, Rimmer is aboard a simulant ship and must get from point A to point B without dying, navigating through electrical arcs and toxic vapour clouds. To be honest, we're not really sure how toxic clouds would affect the hologram, hard light or otherwise, but that's the least of our concerns with the game. Eventually, you'll find a bazookoid lying randomly in a hallway, because that's exactly what happens in video games, and then you'll have to run back again, occasionally coming to face with a simulant. Shooting the bad guys is a whole new experience. The simulant will begin firing about 2 seconds after the fight starts, does not miss, and fires a lot faster than you do. It is possible to get Rimmer's 2 shots in on target before the simulant starts firing, and when we say possible, we mean unlikely. Defeat one, move down the hall a bit, fight another one, move down the hall a bit. All the while, Rimmer's health is decreasing steadily thanks to being shot and running into the aforementioned toxic clouds. And, by the way, no matter how close you get to the end, if Rimmer dies again, or gets stuck in an invisible corner, you will have to restart the entire level. There are no mid-stage save points and no health packs. Moving on, and you're now piloting Starbug through a wormhole, rolling around the edges, avoiding space rocks and collecting more sparklies before carefully landing on a planet on the other end. As with the other segments, this one goes on for about twice as long as you'd want, but at least it's not terribly difficult. Your next task is to recharge Crichton in a cheap gag segment involving nipple nuts, jumper cables and a twirly knob. And now it's Cat's turn. Just like when you were playing as Rimmer, your job as Cat is to avoid simulants, because you don't have a bazookoid this time around. Again, if you get hit too many times, you'll die and have to restart the whole segment. If you're starting to detect an air of irritation, you're only getting the half of it. This is not a mobile game you can knock over in one sitting, but it's not because of any great depth of story or tricky puzzle you need to ponder over. No. By this point in the game, we'd put the phone down 3 times, very gently, to avoid throwing it at a wall out of sheer frustration. And it doesn't get any better from here. The next section features a truck. Tap to move forward, swipe left and right to turn. There's no reverse gear, and there are barrels strewn all over the road. These barrels get in the way, and even though you can move them, every time you touch one, you cause damage to the truck. There are also simulants wandering around. If you run over them quickly, the truck will take damage. If you run over them slowly, they'll shoot you first, and the truck will take damage. This would be bad enough on a straight road, but there are corners, and you will inevitably oversteer, then understeer your way through, hitting even more invisible corners and taking damage every time you do. Even though each of these minigames is repeated at least once more throughout the episode, there's one other segment we need to address. It's a quiz on scientific knowledge. If you've seen the episode, you'll understand how this one fits in. Now, some of the questions can be a little bit tricky, but there's a limited pool, there's no time limit, there's no penalties for getting questions wrong, and they soon start repeating, so you can just write down the answers and work your way through. Red Dwarf, the game, could have been a fun little 99-cent tie-in, but asking $3.99 Australian and repeatedly kicking you in the bollocks when you try to play, even die-hard fans should steer clear of this one.